Hey, hello and welcome. Tonight, we're going to be doing the book subscription launch. It's one of our very newest service from Montana Shared Service. We just launched the website today, and so we wanted to get folks together to talk about it. We have a friend from First Book here. And so we're going to kind of just do a rundown of the service. So if any questions come up, feel free to ask, feel free to slow me down. But we'll launch in. So if you like to know what's going to happen, I always like to include these slides. We're going to do some short introductions. I'm going to talk a little bit about RAISE and Montana Shared Services, but just a brief overview. Then we'll hear from Elena, who's going to share about First Book. Then we'll go into the book subscription itself and talk about all the nitty-gritties, how it's going to work, the process. We'll do a raffle, which I forgot to put on here, and then questions at the end. But of course, anytime you have questions throughout, come off mute, throw them in chat. Anything works. If my dogs are being too loud, let me know. They've been quiet, and then as soon as I started recording, they were like, let's be loud. So you two tell me if they get loud. Okay, so for intros, since we're, doing book stuff, I thought we could say our name, our program slash organization, and then your favorite children's book. So I'll start. Like I said, I'm Gray Birchie. I'm the shared services coordinator for Raise Montana, and I live in Missoula. And my favorite children's book is anything by Patricia Polacco. If folks are familiar with them, I met her when I was like 5 years old and had like my first like fangirl moment meeting an author, and she signed my book. So anything by her has always been my favorite. I'll pass it to Elena.
Yes. Hello. My name is Elena Smith. I work with First Book, and I'm really excited to talk with you tonight about this partnership that we have with Raise Montana. My favorite children's book might be a tie between Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak and The Rainbow Goblins by Alderico. It's one that I read as a very young child, but it's a beautiful, vibrant, like illustrated book. It's about these goblins that eat up different colors. And it's always really visually stuck with me. So it's one of my favorites.
Nice. I've never heard of that one, so I'm gonna have to
Excellent.
find
Check it out.
Rainbow Goblins. Felicity, do you want to go next?
Sure. Um, my name is Felicity Day. I am the owner and director at the Alberton Early Learning Center. And oh, it's so hard. I hate getting asked this question about favorite children's books because it's like what theme are we talking about? Because I have a favorite children's book for every theme or every um like the literacy? Are we talking math? Are we talking like social emotional skills? All of these things. But I would say, um, I don't know, one that's I always start my year off with and reference it throughout the year is just Chicka Chicka Boom Boom by Bill
Mm.
Martin. It's a classic and it will always be a classic.
Love that. Yeah, that's a dangerous question, right? Like,
Really
of
is.
this very moment, what is your kind of favorite sort of that
Yes.
you like? So
Yes.
perfect.
Very true.
We'll keep going. So just a little information about RAISE. I'll keep this short, but we're a statewide nonprofit that supports the childcare resource and referrals across the state, as well as does direct services for childcare providers like Montana Shared Services. And so, as well as we convene the Montana Trauma Informed Early Childhood Advisory Coalition, which is a mouthful. And we also support, it's not even on here. Oh, yes, it is the Montana Family Child Care Network. So we're doing all kinds of things to support childcare in Montana statewide. And so, as I said, one of the services of RAISE is Montana Shared Services. And you can see we have a host of a whole bunch of free services as well as services with fees. The goal is always to save providers time and money, increase their job satisfaction, and to nurture their community bonds. So whole bunch of different services, from the substitute pool to the resource library, and now the book subscription. It was very fun to add that to this slide. And so again, if you would like to be a part of our council, we have a council of childcare providers who help guide what services are coming out, and just give us feedback about what we should do, what we're doing well, and what we can do better. So that's shared services. So with that, I'm going to pass it to Elena for some first book goodness.
Awesome. So First Book is a national nonprofit organization that works to support literacy organizations and educators around the country. We're in particular dedicated to ensuring that all children, regardless of background or zip code, can succeed by removing barriers to equitable education. Basically, what that boils down to is being able to provide books and other educational materials at either free or deeply, deeply discounted to educators and members of the community so that those can be passed along to children. Annually, we reach about 5 million children through our marketplace and the educators who purchase materials there, through large scale book distributions, community events, all sorts of avenues like that. We have a First Book network that is comprised of over 575,000 educators and other providers. We use educator in a pretty loose sense here at First Book. So obviously classroom teachers and any school staff, but also any providers who serve in community organizations, after school programs, librarians, folks who work at shelters or at churches, other faith institutions, all sorts of people who interact with children, and in particular, children from low-income backgrounds. This is the largest network of its kind in North America, which is really exciting, and it grows every single week. So we're very excited to welcome more folks from Montana into that network as well through this program. And since First Book's inception in 1992, we've provided over 225 million books and other resources to children in low-income communities. So we're very excited to continue that work through this program and other avenues. Slide, please. Awesome. So Felicity, sounds like you're pretty familiar already with First Book. I am going to spend a little bit of time just talking through some of the items that are available through our marketplace, just to make sure that that information can still get out to everybody. But so the marketplace is the major benefit that you'll receive as a First Book member, gaining access to that marketplace. This is where you can log on, and there are books and other educational resources that are available, again, either free or at very low cost. We do provide a very curated collection of titles. We really specifically want to make sure that the books and resources that we're providing are curated intentionally with an eye for diversity and inclusion, representing all sorts of different communities, cultures, characters, authors, making sure that children feel represented and also have opportunities to learn about communities that they're not a part of. So all of our marketplace is really curated with that eye, but we do in particular have one section that's our diversity and inclusion section called the Stories for All project. This section in particular really breaks down into kind of different categories and allows you to search through kind of the materials that we have available, the different books and stories, and search by background, by type of character or story, by culture, just to ensure that you can find what you're looking for. So this list here, which includes Asian and Pacific Islander stories, global stories, Jewish stories, LGBTQ stories, Native and Indigenous stories. All of these are available as their own kind of robust categories through our marketplace, and we're really excited that this is continuing to grow. We also have our National Book Bank, which is a section of the marketplace where we provide donated materials. So these are entirely free for educators who want to access them. You just pay the cost of shipping and handling. They're often provided in carton size, so are really great for classroom sets, for book clubs or other kind of projects like that. But this is the best bang for your buck that you can find on the marketplace. They do tend to be a little bit less curated for diversity just because it is donated inventory, so we can't always control what we're getting, but still really valuable books and really popular titles and authors that you can find there. We also have basic hygiene products. This is a new section of the marketplace that has been built up and is really important to be able to support some of the other needs in schools and community programs. So we have items that are available for all ages of children, 0 to 18, and that are often packaged in cartons or prepackaged kits, so that you can utilize those materials for after school programs or classrooms or whatever else. And then similarly, we also have a basic school supply section where we offer lots of art supplies, pencils, erasers, safety scissors, storage bins, all sorts of other things like that to help outfit your classroom. So First Book is really committed in particular to providing books, and that's what we're very excited to do through this particular partnership. But we do have a lot of really great resources that you can access by becoming a First Book member. So we encourage you to check out the full kind of scope of the marketplace.
Awesome. Thank you. I had no idea you guys had all that other stuff as well.
Mhm.
And so just one clarification, with this service, it will just be for books, but like if you're a member, right, you'll have access to all this other stuff. So that's fantastic. Thanks, Helena.
Mhm.
So yeah, just to continue talking about how this partnership and what this partnership is looking like. We've had First Book on our website for a while, but we reached out and said, let's work a little closer together. And First Book said, of course, like we want to up the numbers of Montana childcare providers, of members in the state. And so they're really committed to increasing that because it's an underserved area. And so we were lucky enough, Raise in this program was able to get a grant, $5,000 grant from First Book to subsidize those subscription fees. And so that's why a little later we'll talk. It's going to be a pilot for now, but we're trying to keep those fees low for you all. So it makes much more accessible for everyone. So we're very thankful for our First Book partners. So this slide kind of just gives us an overview, and then I'll go into some more nitty-gritties. But the idea, again, is to get brand new, high-quality, discounted ECU books right to your program. We know books can be expensive and can be time-consuming to go get the books, to research the books, what have you. And we know how important it is to to have books in your program, and how important, the education you all are doing with literacy, but with all types, social, emotional, cultural, what have you, math, STEM, all the good stuff. And so one, we're trying to get books to your door, but we're also trying to save you time by, we're always going to have a seasonal list of books from First Book that we pick out to, again, you can pick out any books you want, but if you're like, I'm short on time, I would love some ideas of some good summer books. We have a list on our website that's going to have that. Yeah. We're also really focused on making sure that there's inclusive, equity-driven books in that section as well. So that'll be available for anyone. You don't have to have a membership or anything. That's just on our website to look at. And we have the First Book link and then also an Amazon link, but we encourage you to buy them from First Book. Also, for anyone who signs up for the subscription, each season will send you a list of curriculum that goes with each book. So of those 6 books we picked, we have curriculum ideas to, again, save you time. And those follow the MELs, and we have all of that written out for you. The other cool thing that we're doing is we've talked to some local bookstores, some local United Ways, and are hoping to kind of expand this, but to get them to donate books, and then we can get those books to you for free. And so those will be kind of as we can get the books, honestly, but for like our Missoula, Alberton area, we'll notify anyone who signed up, and we'll either have you come pick it up at your R&R, or we'll mail it out to you. And those will be just bonus books for free. Yes, so that's the overview of it. Again, stop me for questions. But why did we do a book subscription? There is a provider who is unfortunately not here tonight. Her name's Lynn in Missoula, and she reached out and said, hey, I love how you guys give us book lists on social media. That's something we've often done for different months. But like, how do I get those books? like I don't have time, I don't have the resources, what have you. And so we said, well, let's figure that out together and let's build a subscription. So we did, of course, some surveys. We love to survey folks. And we only got 17 responses, which I think is still great. But you can see cost of books was the biggest barrier, with 70% of folks noting that. The other, that big red one, 11.8, was time researching books. So again, we saw that what Lynn was saying in her own experience was happening with providers across the state. And so we said, let's do it. So that's when we reached out to First Book. So getting more into the nitty-gritties, how it will work is we want this to be really accessible for all program sizes. And so you pick the subscription that works for you. If you're a smaller family group, right, you might not need as many books. Or if you already have a ton of books, right, you might not need as many at a time. So for $10 either a month, $10 every 2 months, or $10 every 3 months, you will get a $25 gift card to use at First Book or for us to use for you. And we'll get into that. But that's, again, just to fit people's budget and to fit people's needs. If you don't need $25 worth of books every single month, we want to make this accessible for you. Right now, because we love a good pilot, this is going to run from May 1st to August 31st. We're hoping, right, that if providers are loving this, what have you, right, we'll keep subsidizing, we'll keep it going. But we always want to be responsive. If folks are like, nah, we don't like this at all, then we won't keep doing it. Once you sign up though, you can cancel anytime. If you're not jiving with it, it's totally up to you.
Okay,
Question.
so quick question.
Yeah, I could tell. Go for it.
No, it's okay. Okay, first of all, whoever would not want to get as many books as they could every month,
I saw your face, yeah.
like you're not an early childhood educator. Anyways, but okay, so it's $10 a month, and that $10 a month means you get $25 of books every month if you did the $10 a month.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah. So $15 worth of free books a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're
Okay,
paying
that makes
10.
sense.
Yeah,
Right.
15.
Okay.
Yes, it would be every single month. Yeah, you would get a $25 gift card to spend.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I was just thinking of yeah. So it'd be for the 3 months, May, right? May, June, July, August, 4 months for the pilot. So that's $40 for a total of $100. But is that right? Is my math right?
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is why I teach preschool, okay? Because I can't do math. But I can read and write all day long. But okay, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And we're hoping to keep it at those prices. We just, right, want to be mindful too. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, absolutely. I mean, yeah. Cool. I love it. Oh,
Okay.
I'm so excited. My teachers are going to be so psyched that they
Good.
could start adding this into their monthly budget books. Because right now it's not. Like books is a completely different budget for us as a center and a program because of the price and because of the research and et cetera,
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
we picked some more transparency. We picked that $25 one because then you get free shipping from First Book. And then also $30 was the average of what people were spending per month on books. So we thought that fit pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah. And on First Book, I mean, like $30 gets you a chunk, like a solid 2 handfuls of books sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going. So again, how will it work? On our website, you'll see those plans we just talked about. $10 once a month, $10 every 2 months, $10 every 3 months. When you order that, you'll get an email automatically with a form to fill out. Again, we love forms. You get to pick if you would like to pick out all of your books, if you're a member of First Book, or if you're like, I don't have time, you can have us pick out your books and we will send them directly to your door. The other thing on that form is if you aren't a First Book member, if you want support with becoming a First Book member, we have flyers, we have a template, you can set up a time with me, because there are so many benefits to being a member. We really want folks to become members, but you don't have to be a member. And feature, oh, that's a typo. The last thing is supposed to say recommend books. Oh yes, to feature, that's what I meant. If you also have a book, you can tell it's 8 o'clock at night. If you have a book that you're passionate about that you think we should highlight on our seasonal list, you can just drop the name there. And so that's another way to spread the good books across all of Montana. Okay. Continuing on. So like we said, right, for that $10, however often you want to pay it, you'll get a gift certificate for $25, and that can be used any place on the market. You can, of course, buy the books that we're recommending. We'll send you that curriculum for anyone who signs up, and then also be eligible for those local book boxes. And we don't have a schedule yet of when those are going to happen, but we have some partners already lined up. I always talk ahead of my slides, so I feel like that one was repetitive. So First Book membership. Yeah. Elena talked about all the great benefits, but we really, again, want to support you in doing that. So we have these different flyers that are on our website. So you don't have to be a part of the book subscription to get these flyers, but they just explain. We just copied it from First Book and made it in a pretty raised font, but it has the eligibility and then step by step what you need to do for-profit childcare programs, which is the majority of childcare programs in Montana. You fill out the membership, and then there's a letter you need to write to accompany it. And so we have that template that you can personalize for your own program. And we also have information on the flyer about what needs to be in there. And then, of course, resources if you need help. Reaching out to First Book, they're wonderful, but also you can reach out to Raise too if you want to, and we'll set up some time and figure it out. Like I said, you don't have to be a First Book member to participate, but it's highly, highly, highly encouraged.
I have just a couple quick notes there as well.
Yeah, go. Yeah, of course.
I just want to highlight, first of all, yeah, like you said, I really encourage everyone to become a member, even though it's not recommended or not required for this program. There are a lot of really great resources that you'll get. For the registration process itself, we really appreciate both Raise and we have our own member services team that are also happy to help walk you through that. But I do like to flag that it does take about 5 to 10 minutes to register. And it's sometimes a little bit more involved than what people expect. So I just like to give that kind of heads up. That registration form will go through some of your basic information in terms of, your name, where you work, your email address, that kind of collecting information. It will also ask you the percentage of children in need that you serve. So again, as long as you hit that 70% threshold that's listed here on the flyer, then you're good to go and you're eligible. It'll also ask you estimations. I would like to emphasize that estimations of how many children in each age range you work with. So definitely don't, fret over getting these very specific numbers of those. Usually that's collected both to help certify eligibility in terms of being able to report back to our publishing partners, who these books are going to, but also helps us know who you are so that we can send you relevant resources. We have a lot of corporate sponsors and other sponsors who provide funded promo codes and other free resources through the marketplace when you become a member. So by giving us that information, we can let you know when there are, for example, early childhood resources that are now available that you can access for free. So lots of other great opportunities that will come with being a member as well. But I like to just kind of flag some of those things for the registration process, just so people don't get lost.
Awesome. Thanks, Elena. Yeah, that's a great point. That 70%, we've talked with First Book, right? And we know sometimes your enrollment fluctuates, your families fluctuate, what have you. And so we encourage you to apply because Montana is an under-resourced state. We're remote, what have you. So even if your numbers fluctuate a little bit, First Book has said that they are supportive of childcare providers in Montana becoming members. And if you ever have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me or to Elena or anyone from customer service, and they can talk through that. Because, yeah, I know some folks see that 70% and get a little nervous about that. So just reach out to us. We're happy to talk through that.
Definitely.
I have a quick question, and this obviously
Go for it.
is it's kind of off subject. Are like public school districts allowed to be a part of this also?
Mhm.
Because I think of like we're in Alberton, obviously, and Alberton is considered rural Montana. It's not really rural, in my opinion, but I mean, the amount of low income, free and reduced lunches and everything that's happening in our school district is so huge to where I feel like, and a lot of the stuff I do see in the marketplace sometimes is geared towards like elementary students with workbooks and things like that, where I'm like, I wonder if they're a part of it or whatever. So maybe I'll just like pitch it at a school board meeting,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
or something to see. I didn't know if that was possible. Like, whole school districts could be a part of this.
Yeah, I will say from the First Book side of things, we don't tend to pursue like district level contracts,
Okay.
mostly because we don't want to step on the toes of our partner, like publishing partners who are also pursuing those types of contracts
Okay.
and relationships. But that said, we absolutely encourage all teachers, administrators,
Teachers. Yeah.
any
That's
school
totally.
staff who are working in those buildings to absolutely
Yeah.
become members and utilize that resource.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily something we do as formally at that level for a few different reasons, but absolutely anybody who is in Title I eligible, or again is meeting that 70% threshold for their school, absolutely can sign up and be eligible to receive these resources.
Yeah. Love it.
And then like I think too, because they have First Book has like you guys still do the semi trucks of like
Yep.
books and all, right? Like that would be great for like Missoula, Alberton, right? Like if we could coordinate some of that to get lots of books here for lots of
Absolutely.
people.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
few other modes of partnership that we love working with groups on. Book trucks are a very popular one. Those are donated inventory typically rather than really curated. So slightly different titles, but often it's from Disney. So it's a lot of like Marvel superheroes, Disney princesses, still really great kind of pleasure reading and very accessible for all sorts of ages. But usually you can get either a half truck, which is about 15 to 20,000 books, or a full truck, which is 35 to 40,000 books. And then often we'll, have those delivered and you can host like a whole community celebration. It's a lot of fun and a great opportunity. And for those, you are only paying for the cost of the truck instead of the books. So it's pretty cheap for 40,000 books, about
Oh,
as
yeah.
cheap as you can get it, just to get it from
Well,
point. So.
I mean, this just opens up so many, like with the new House bill, 352 coming out, that's out gray, and
Mhm.
everything of like that's geared towards early literacy and all of these things. It was just like,
Mhm.
how awesome is this? So that'd be
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, very happy to pursue those conversations separately and see what would be possible. Absolutely.
So just a few more slides. Okay. How to sign up, right? So go to Raise Montana. I'm gonna take you on a little tour right now. Raise Montana/books is the direct way to get there. Or if you're on our website, you go to childcare providers under the shared services. It's our very first tab because we are so proud of it. So here we have how does it work, which is everything I've been talking about today. And then on the right here is our summer book list. And so it has a First Book link as well as an Amazon link and then a little blurb about it. And these on the books on the right here are all the ones we're gonna send curriculum to folks for. dun, 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 all the information. This Learn More is a flyer with a lot of the stuff I've been talking about today, as well as those sign up flyers for First Book. And then if you're interested, down here is a little more blurbs. But then you go to sign up. Thinking. These are all our telehealth plans, but at the end you can see the book subscription. So $10 every month, every 2 months, every 3 months. You can sign up there. Automatically is taken out every month to make it easy for you, so you don't have to remember each month to pay, or we invoice you. And then once you do that and pay, you are sent that email automatically that has all those questions I talked about before. If you are a member, if you want to pick out your books, whatnot. That's a little QR code, but I showed you guys the long way. And then this is, again, if you want to get involved with Raise, whole bunch of things, sign up for services, newsletters, text alerts. We have feedback, our Facebook group, advisory council, social media, all that good stuff. That brings us to raffle time. So Felicity, you're gonna win the raffle because you're the one here. So we're gonna give you a free $25 gift certificate
If
to
you want to
Facebook.
keep it and give it to someone else, because I already got one.
Well, you're
free.
getting another one because you showed up
Okay.
again. So
Well, I learned
and
a
that one
lot.
was
This was
just
great.
25 bucks in the ether. This is 25 bucks of books. So
Okay.
you're very kind, but you took the time out.
I was
So
gonna say, I have no time to spend the money anyways right now. So
I had this whole elaborate way how I was going to pick people, but you made it easy on
Okay.
us. So.
Well.
And with that, just any other questions, Felicity, or Elena, anything else you want to add, that we didn't get to talk about?
I don't think anything on my end. Yeah, we're really excited for this initiative. I was telling Gray before the call started, this is a pilot program that we haven't tried, but I think was a really interesting forum to get books out to people. So definitely something that we're interested in seeing how the pilot goes, and excited to reach more educators in Montana, and maybe even be able to do it elsewhere eventually. So thank you for getting this all set up.
Yeah, thanks for joining
Yeah,
us.
I think it'll catch fire. It's just it's always getting people like on board with
Mhm.
something new. And when it includes books, like I don't know, I'll try and spread the word as much as possible too, to like just the providers I know, because
Yeah.
this is worth it. And like administrators who are not administrators, but like admin in the early child education world, directors and stuff like that, it may not spark their love so as much as like the actual teachers, right?
Mhm.
In spaces like this.
Yeah.
Because me coming from a classroom, like I know the importance of this and how great this is and everything like that. And then but yeah, I was hoping more people were gonna be on tonight. I really was. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so great.
It
Oh, well.
happens. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you being here,
Yeah,
being our very dedicated audience member. So
it was very nice to meet
It was
you.
good. You guys did a
I
great job.
appreciate you helping to get the word out about things. That's very generous.
Yeah, because this is something I could totally get behind. I mean, it's a no-brainer in my
Yeah.
mind. It
yeah,
really is.
hopefully, yeah. And I'm Felicity, but just for everyone, we are very open to feedback. So if we started and you guys are like, this is not working, like let's tweak it this way, just let us know. I will change. I will change the system to make it work. So however that works. Awesome. Okay, well, have a lovely night, you two. Let me stop the recording.